my step-grandmother's father's house. No toilet in that house. No bath, proper bathhouse. No kitchen. Nothing. We have not even been able to floor the courtyard. We can't manage our refuse. We can't manage our liquid waste, stagnant water. But when I did that video, a lot of people were calling me, I am mad, I am mad. So let's go on. King Leopold's letter. Your knowledge of the gospel will allow you to find text ordering and encouraging your followers to love poverty. Like, happier are the poor, because they will inherit the kingdom of heaven. It is very difficult for the rich to enter the kingdom of heaven. These things were written by our ancestors, but they are quoted out of context. Our ancestors wrote that all human beings were equal. So when you are handsome in this world, the next world you'll be ugly. The person who was ugly will be handsome. That's why they say, do not insult your colleague, no matter how they are. When you are poor in this world, in this life, maybe the earlier life you were rich. This is what it means. So when you rise up and you are hustling and you are not getting, you are poor. Maybe your end days you'll be rich. That's all. This is what they wrote down. So that is why our ancestors described these white people as the white devils. Because what these people can do, you can never comprehend. This letter is in this country. It's in Google, everywhere. But no pastor or man has even read this letter. People were not even reading this letter. They even fear because they think they'll kill them. I read this letter on Mambi Grace's platform, and it's a global platform, and nothing is being done in this country. Nobody cares. The letter clearly shows that their religions are false religions, and they brought them to destroy, but still, we are possessed. Somebody sent me a video, a very short video, an excerpt of the film entitled The Matrix. That Leo, these people are part of the Matrix. And the Matrix is our enemy. And because of that, they are also our enemies. Because people are ready to lay down their lives to protect these religions which are destroying them. Because they don't know. So if you want to fight religion, you become an enemy to them. So that guy said that the very people we are fighting to free will fight against us to protect the enemy. This is what they did to us. This is what they did to us. So that they should tell us we should enjoy poverty if we won't go to heaven. But they are living in opulence. You have to detach them from them and make them disrespect everything which gives them courage to confront us. Our spirituality, our spiritual powers, fetishism, idols, the ordering of our ancestors. Christianity and Islam has completely detached us from them, and we are throwing them away. Unless one fetishist in a hinterland was so powerful that any disease you bring there, he will cure you of it. So when Al-Hajj was sick, he roamed all hospitals everywhere. He couldn't get treatment. He came to that hinterland and the man cured him. Then he said he would send the man to Hajj. He paid the man's trip to Hajj in and out. And when the man came back, his shrine burnt completely. His idols are angry with him. Because when you went to Mecca, you did not meet Allah, you met a stone. So that the man cannot cure people anymore. Simple as that. And look at how much we are paying in our hospitals for treatment. I make reference to their mystical powers and their war fetishes, which they pretend not to abandon. And you must do everything in your power to make it disappear. So they took children, trained them to do this job. Because if it was a white man going around in our communities saying our God is a white man, we wouldn't believe him. But your own brother is telling you Jesus is God. And your own brother is telling you Allah created the world. Meanwhile, nobody knows who created this world. Because he does not know anything. And it says this, that recite every day, happy are those who are weeping because the kingdom of God is for them. Make sure the niggers never become rich. Sing every day, it is impossible for the rich to enter heaven. Teach the niggers to forget their heroes and to adore ours only. So St. Paul, St. Peter, St. Matthew, but no St. Japa, no St. Akonfanochi, no St. Kwame. So you mention Prophet Muhammad's name, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You mention his people's name. There are some people's grandfathers, the Caliphate, Umar and Co. You say, Radiallahu Anhu. But you mention your great-great-grandfather's name, you don't bless them. Because they say they were kafir. And when a kafir dies and a Muslim, you pray for them, you become a kafir. What kind of religion is that? What kind of belief system is that? Somebody dies because the person is not in your religion. The person is an accursed creature. So you shouldn't even pray for that person. Excuse me. I didn't want to disappoint my viewers. That's why I tried to do this video today. I have Qatar. So this is what they did to us. And we are enjoying poverty. So we have forgotten about ourselves. We don't know who we are. We cannot tap into our inner selves. We can't open our third eye. Me, is this year I renounced Islam. This year. When I started following Quotation Master and Co. And a brother of mine who is pursuing a course in Maharshi Spiritual University, online course, he sat me down and disentangled all the entanglements. And I said, hi, that is actually a matrix. An agenda you can never understand. Unless you put the person down and untie all the knots before the person will see the light. That is why they told them they shouldn't even sit with us. So we enjoy poverty. People are walking and dying with preventable and curable diseases. Stomach ulcers, hernia, pompo, and kuro. Diseases that we can even prevent ourselves from. We can't even go for medical check. Our old men and women break down on their sick beds and die horrible deaths by preventable and curable diseases. And the Malams will say it is the will of Allah. People people's lands where they dig mineral resources are dying of preventable and curable diseases. They are dying of stomach ulcer. Did you hear of a pastor who took his congregants, even including children, to a bush on the mountain that they are going to be praying and fasting because it will be Lord Jesus to come, and he wants Jesus to come and meet them in prayers, in fasting in the bush. And they were there close to a month, including little children. He wanted to slaughter them like that, manslaughter. It had to take the intervention of the police to invade that hinterland and arrest that pastor. They are going to pray and wait for Jesus. What has happened to black people? Just yesterday, I was having an argument with my paternal uncle and other guys. Why I shot that video. They are looking for blessings. They are looking for lahira. That's the hereafter. They don't want the world. I told them that my grandmother has no place of abode. She has no accommodation. 5 generations stay in one house, no toilet. And they told me, yes, they don't want this world. They want the hereafter. And I said, look, this community, when they compile, when they collect all the light posts, including the cables and the transformers, and they calculate the amount of money, their cost, I said, can we pay for these things? That is my uncle. I don't want to insult him. He told me, yes, they can pay. I said, today we can't even construct roads. We can't build this country. We can't build hospitals. Everything is being done by the white man. So I just used the electricity alone. That yes, we can pay. But we were here for close to 20 years looking for electricity. It has to take John Drama and Mama and Atamis to come and give us electricity. Today we want potable drinking water. Why can't we contribute money and such a creature is having hope that he is the best of all creation because he's in Islam. And when he dies, he'll go to heaven. What has happened to us? Who actually did this to us? Somebody who does not even understand his own self. He does not know that Ghana is about to collapse. Let me continue. That's what I'm saying. I am putting this information out there so that future generations will come and watch them. They will understand what we are saying. Why is it that you, those who sit on more than half of the world's wealth, we have 6.5 continents, Antarctica. So I'll take it out. 6 continents. Africa alone has more than the resources the other 5 continents have. I drew this thing, I drew a well map on the ground and explained this thing to these animals, but they didn't even understand what I was talking about. Nipa dane ngwan ngwantwie wo kanya sasem kra on tiasia. They can't even comprehend common sense, simple common sense. They can't understand. Ghana, Africa are heading towards an apocalypse. The stupidity and extreme idiocy on the African continent will lead our countries to an apocalypse. Look at how NPP politicians were dishing money out there. Developing countries don't practice democracy. Developing countries, they don't practice democracy. Look at the amount of money we waste every 4 years in elections. But we borrow to survive. And no single person in this country, from Otumfuo to the last matured person, has come out to say, no, let's stop these elections. Let's get one person who is a God-fearing person, intellectually intelligent. Even if he's not intelligent, we have people who have ideas. Channel everything to this man so that he will develop this country, take this country out of poverty. So that when we are advanced, we can now vote. 2024, nobody knows what happened in this country. Because I don't think NPP will step down. And I don't think NDC will allow them to declare themselves, to rob them again. Because gone are the days that they said politicians here, I fear this thing. Akufo-Addo was proving clearly that politicians don't fear this. Because they voted against him and he declared himself a president again. When he came, he was looting. He knows that he was going to declare himself. And when NDC come, they will loot and declare themselves too. So we, the voters, are going to suffer. So Africa has more than half of the world's wealth. Why is it that we kill our own people for money rituals? I was watching one video where some kidnappers kidnap some people, the women, they raped them, then they slaughtered them, they were cutting their private parts, and they slaughtered a lot of people. Especially these Nigerians, they want to go for money rituals. With those who have human resources, mineral resources, land, forestry, water resources. Look at the fishes the Chinese and Americans are catching. They are harvesting on our oceans. We have all these things, and we still kill ourselves for money rituals. People are selling their children. One guy killed the mother and was sleeping with the mother's corpse because the ritualist told him that he should do that ritual and he will become rich. Meanwhile, some people are stockpiling wealth. Let's make education free and compulsory and universal, accessible, and technically and vocationally oriented, science and technology with little of the humanities to match. And everybody will acquire a speciality. Then let's force our people to patronize their own goods. Let's make our own goods and commodities. What kind of wealth shan't we create here? If Africa unites and say our gold will not go anywhere anymore, we are establishing a world gold market on the African continent, a world iron ore, all the raw materials they're taking here, come here, sit here, manufacture those goods here so that we take benefit. What kind of wealth can Africa create? But we are killing ourselves. Somebody died, they were going to bury him, the head wasn't there, the rest were not there. The people say, no, it's an abomination. They search, and before they realize, the head and the arms, the hands were with his direct brother. People are assuming corpses, cutting their body parts, siphoning their fluids to go for money rituals. Africa, Adain. Young girls are fornicating just to survive. Meanwhile, they are the best of all creations on this earth. Ghanaian girls. They are the paciest, they have stamina, they are intellectually intelligent, they are talented, the most talented females on the face of this earth. Tell these girls to acquire professions, even if they will hustle, they will eat gari and acquire a profession or crafts, they should do that. And you won't have to fornicate. Fertile are starving in their teenage mothers' wombs. And we are aborting them. Whilst we are sitting on the most fertile lands on earth, and no single Malam or pastor or Muslim or Christian scholar cares about this. Nobody is talking about these things. Africa is leading corruption. Nobody should have been corrupt on the African continent. Nobody, because Africa is heaven. It's because of poverty. If you are rich, if we have abundance of cars, we make our own cars, then the price of the car is low. We have aircraft all over the place, and you can. Why should it be corrupt? So nobody should have been corrupt on the African continent. People kill pregnant women for money rituals. Pregnant women. Pastors are burying people alive to build churches because they want what they will eat. So, this is the condition on the African continent. Religion. They are looting our wealth away. And we are possessed, we are hypnotized, we are robbing ourselves, killing ourselves, just for money. Because they told us we should look for cash. So everybody is looking for cash. Please, let's go and tell the Saudis and the Vatican, they should bring their wealth here. We don't want heaven. We don't want heaven. We will live in the heaven here. When we die, we'll go to hell. So that they should enjoy our poverty here. And when they die, they'll go to heaven. Will they do that? Heaven and hell are a hoax. They're lying to you. There's nowhere called hell. There's nowhere called heaven. Listen. If I tell you there's no hell, there's no heaven, I'm lying to you because I don't know. I have never been there before. The same way if the malam or the pastor tell you there is a heaven or hell, he's lying. But because I have not been there before, I have not seen it, if I tell you it's not there, I have every right. Because I attest to something I have evidence to. If I touch, if I sniff, if I see it with my eyes, then I can bear witness. But if I have not done anything of that, and I tell you it's there, I am the greatest liar. Even if Prophet Muhammad went and saw hell and heaven, he went there alone. You didn't go with him. So say that is what he told you. Whether it is true or not, you don't know. So there's a factory at Bupe, Central Gonja District Capital. That is where Honorable John Jinapo and Honorable Abu Jinapo's father is an overlord, is the king there. And that man is the most corrupt king on the face of this earth. That community has enormous resources. Like my community. And my king, my chief here in this community is even worse. Anytime I speak, the youth just sit and they watch me. They don't know anything. They don't know anything. They don't know that there's a law in our constitution binding or which is an obligation that the chiefs, our traditional authorities, should use royalties to the benefit of the people of the land. Resources of stool and skin lands are supposed to be used for the benefit of the people. The people don't know anything. They just sit down and watch their kings, their chiefs, their traditional loot them. And when they are poor, they will say, it's Allah who is testing them. This will be to rise up and fight, drive these pricks out of this country. And let's develop our country. You sit down, you don't even know anything. The only thing you know is religion. And when some of us are speaking, they tell us we are devils. When you go to Bupe, several factories, several warehouses, several shops, wholesale shops, Guinness Depot, latest phone, what have you. Fuel stations, telecommunication masts all over the place. The people can get about 100,000 Ghana cedis from these corporate entities. Apart from the factories, the total amount these people can Ghana in a year on all the royalties. They can even get 1 million Ghana cedis every year because that boasts the bulk oil storage. That facility is a very dangerous facility. It's a high risk facility. If it wants to explode, it will burn communities surrounding Bupe. So before we will die, we are supposed to enjoy before we die because every high risk facility has profit. So Boast alone can pay close to 1 million Ghana cedis to that community. That is 10 billion old cedis to that community every year. Both royalties and corporate social responsibilities. Nothing. It's only the overlord and his sub-chiefs and the DCs, the political, traditional, and the religious leaders. They consume everything. And the youths are so damp. They're there. They don't know anything. Now there's a factory, the Salacem. It's now over 10 years that this factory came there. They produce cement. And people have told us that a single day, 30 trailers, 30 flat bodies can invade that community and load 30,000 bags of cement each out of that community. 30 times 1,000. 30,000 cement is being taken out of that community every day. Our limestone, our clinker, they are taking everything away. Once these trailers are invading that community, blowing horns, pem pem, pem pem, mama me kwan, mama me kwan, mama me kwan, blowing dust on the people. Maybe famu sika ko, maybe famu sika ko. Some mereno na wosu come and search the air. Somebody will sit down, be pulling the tesba. When the Sunday is done, they will go and pray and come and sit down. Whilst they are you are praying for prosperity and they are taking your prosperity out, you don't even know. No corporate social responsibilities, nothing. The people, they are so poor. At least they could have, the traditional authorities, they could have created a trust fund, educational trust fund, to sponsor brilliant but needy children in that community, so that by now they could have produced 100 professionals like medical doctors, engineers with doctorate degrees, and they will also sponsor others. They will not do that, because when they do that, you are empowered, you are educated, you are civilized. You will demand accountability. You ask, how many cement bags are they taking over there? How much comes every 3 months as district common fund? And how are they using them? What is the king doing with the royalties he's taking from the sale of lands, royalties from charcoal, royalties from cattle, royalties from the market, royalties from the cattle market? A lot of corporate entities. So when they teach you religion and say education is haram, bring all your water, Jesus will solve them. That means don't go to school. Then you are there worshiping God. Then they will be looting your resources. This is how religion is destroying Africa. So they take over 30,000 bags of cement out of that community. But a young girl was sitting on the ground weeping, stomach ulcer, hunger and starvation. Go there. Go to Bupe. The poverty in that community, only God knows. They have Savasem, they have PVC, they have Boast, they have Volta Lake Transport, several pharmacists. About 4 hospitals are in that community. 4 big hospitals are in that community. Several pharmacists, several fuel stations, 3 or 4 banks in that community. And each of them can pay close to 10,000 Ghana cedis as royalties a year, and another 10,000 Ghana cedis as corporate social responsibilities. Or corporate social responsibility. Nothing. The only thing they know is religion. So when you start speaking against Islam, people don't understand why. Because this is what our malams and pastors were supposed to be preaching about. Shaributu, sa enema we necessary one no young for malam for no mono in the whole country no. Mo kasafa enough of Prophet Muhammad's time. Khadija was this and those bullshit. Ya bramo ne titi nema na mo gosu catch re no. We are now in a modern world. Preach against these things. As I say, I him for the year they will come her. Politicians, at then now, Modi kapuduo every 2 years, a crack as a bagana ha. A better possess of me yeka. Me, I meet him, me need to me be a mecano be anti. They even want to war with me. Who shall who were to me? Reverend Prophet Asante, who were to me? The Cadre Cardinal, who were to me? I didn't a Christopher, you know, a pam, a gramophone, you know, among meeting or say, no, enough is enough. Politicians. invest in local manufacturing. Why? Because bonsam kuramumu. Onyankopo anyame no amu su omo no omo ye bonsam ala no ye bonsam to oppress you. Jesus your bonsam to oppress you mo aka. So on kire mu san nyansa we da. On kire mu san nyansa we da. Nipa obo as the creator of this universe did not create poverty, hardship, havoc. No. Created a test. What is the test? Come and explore. Discover and invent. Make machines to feel comfortable. That is all. So whilst they are looting your resources away, you are also praying in your churches for prosperity. You are contradicting yourself. In King Leopold's letter, one of the implications of his statement was that work with their governments and local authorities and religious leaders to impoverish the locals so that they don't get the power, which is power is what? Knowledge and civilization, to compete with us to mine those resources and finally take over them. This is not what is written in King Leopold's letter, but I'm telling you that that is the connotation. You know, they gave them a lot of instructions, only 2 that we were able to get. So you can do your own extrapolation and see certain orchestration and say, yes, this was also part of the agenda. So the people who want your resources will connive with your political leaders because they've been mining our gold for over 500 years. We get nothing. Are our subsequent presidents dumb? Are they dumb that they don't know that they have the order, they don't have the power? Europeans, stop and go, because gold does not rot. Crude oil does not rot. Diamond, bauxite, clinker, limestone, they don't rot. Why don't our subsequent president, current and all former president, why is that none of them rose up and say, hey, Europeans, stop digging? They have the power. Why didn't they say that? Because they are part of the cabal. Because the gold that they are taking, they are giving them their share, and you are poor. So they work with your people in power, political leaders. Work with the traditional authorities, they give them their share. And they will make religion. They know how to do this thing. Religion become very powerful in that community. So the pastors will be preaching, the malams will be preaching, so that they will take your mind away from their looting. So every community where they mine any mineral resource, religion is very, very strong in that community, Islam and Christianity. So your leaders, this three set of leaders, political, traditional, and religious leaders, they are your being. So the Quran and the Bible that you put in you respect so much are the books they used to destroy you, but they are the books you will kill to protect. The malams and the pastors, the sheikhs, the reverends, and what have you, they are your enemies. They are those destroying you, but they are the people you will kill to protect. Your political leaders and your traditional authorities are those who are destroying you, but they are the people you support so much. And when you are poor, they come and tell you, don't worry, it's Allah who is testing you. This is the last straw that broke our back. Because if people knew that they were not supposed to be poor on the face of this earth, they would have been asking questions why they are poor. So religion is what is destroying us. So when you are even saying these things, these guys will come and watch this video and still speak nonsense here. Akwesi Kadri Rama, Hello, how are you doing? Please continue doing your hard work, bro. That's my little brother, my uncle's son. He's even in town right now. Bible God, Quran God, deaf and dumb. Nice one, my brother, by Chudi Chukwedi. Nice one, my brother. Africa must be free from religion slavery. Yes. Then another equity Chumasi Ankara. You are watching me. Thank you, my brother. Please share. Share. Spread the message. They have mined our gold for over 500 years. What have they used the percentage that we get from that to do in this country? Nothing. We don't know. Gold, diamond, bauxite, lithium, crude oil, cement, we pay for over a decade now. What have that company done? That company was supposed to build a hospital for that community. The chiefs would take the monies. That company was supposed to tie that road. They took the monies. Another company, PVC, was supposed to give the community potable drinking water. They would take the money. Corporate social responsibilities, they take it. And the youth don't know anything. But they can recite the whole Quran to you. It is a privilege to listen to you. Thank you, my brother. And thank you very much for the support you are giving to me. In my community, I am disheartened. Nobody here is ready to listen to me. So I have seen the matters. I have seen that they are my enemies. We won't fight. I will just watch them. They will live in that lie. They will live in their stupidity. And when they become old and they break down on their sick bed and they are suffering, that's where they will learn sense. These people have been mining our mineral resources for centuries. We don't get nothing. Why? Because, one, we don't have the technical know-how, the knowledge. Two, we don't have the equipment. Three, we cannot explore and discover their deposits. So over 500 years, what have we been doing about that? Nothing. Because we are worshiping God to go to heaven. It is our leaders who are supposed to know better and do these things. But they are not doing it. But the followers don't know. And they are saying it is their ancestors' sin that is making them to suffer. This is how dangerous religion is. Nkrumah sent Ghanaian youth, brilliant but needy children, on scholarship to go to Russia, China, America, wherever, to go and learn. For us to come and do our own things. Come and do at least re-engineering. Manufacture our own equipment, which can explore and discover where our mineral deposits are. And we can also invent and manufacture heavy-duty machines that can explore them. That was a very nice start. They came and lied to these Akufo-Addo's grandparents, and they overthrew Nkrumah. And they quashed that against them. And after Nkrumah, up to date, no leader has taken a step in that direction because they fear they will die. That means they are not fit to be leaders, because a leader sacrificed their lives for their people. You don't want to die, but we should be dying. So why is it that we have not gone to learn, at least come and do re-engineering to exploit our own mineral resources? Why is it that no single pastor or malam is lamenting over this thing? And they are telling us that it is Allah who gives wealth. It's not education that gives wealth. So I have a higher education, just degree. And they say, of course, school why? So, and yes, school ne masika, Allah ne masika. Nobody is telling you to go to school and become rich. We are saying, let's acquire knowledge and make our own goods and commodities and exploit our own mineral resources. After that, we can now, if we are still poor, we can now say it is God. You understand? You have not done what Allah has asked you to do, but you are saying it's Allah who is testing you. You see, Ghana is heading towards an apocalypse. Ghana and Africa. Listen, excuse me. I told you I have Qatar. Yesterday I couldn't even sleep. Today, the Europeans, Americans, the foreigners, they are looting our resources non-stop, 24/7, for over 500 years now. And these resources, some are exhaustible. The hydroelectric power plants are inexhaustible. They are recyclable. But gold, diamond, crude oils, clinker, what have you, they are exhaustible. So you get to a time they'll be exhausted. They'll be depleted. When you come to my community, people are felling trees for timbering, others lumbering, others logging. Then others will fell the remaining ones for charcoal burning. But all these people have got brains in their heads rotting away. Go to school and acquire a profession. The madam says school is haram. They are felling the trees. Nobody, no man or pastor is preaching that they should stop or we should plant trees. Because when you say they should stop, then they must go to school. And when they go to school, they will see the secret. People have not been to school. That's why they are arguing with me. So I have stopped arguing with them. When I asked that my uncle, that my little uncle, that can we pay for the electricity project in this community? He said, yes, they can pay. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And that question I asked him, he did not understand. The road project, this road, we can't pay even for 1 mile, this community. The hospital, they come and pay for us. The polyclinic, we can't pay. These schools, every project the government did here, this community can't pay. When the people in the country are poor, majority of them, that's why they say the country is also poor. So we borrow to survive. So I was trying to tell him that we live in a country that borrows to survive. So we are not even supposed to slaughter any animal for Allah, because that is not what Allah told us. That if you can, if you have not built your own home, why are you slaughtering an animal and eat? That they want heaven. That's not how they go to heaven. So people are felling the trees indiscriminately. They have felled trees in this community to the extent that others use their hands and machetes to cut down the little trees, cut them into logs, use their hands and waste and pack them, burn them for money. Cash, cash, cash. Now we should look for cash, we should look for money, we should look for knowledge. So if you don't have money on the African continent, they don't respect you. Even if you are very intelligent, they don't care. They want what they will eat. Food gluttons, sex gluttons. Desperately looking for what they will eat, that's all. They don't care what you're telling them. So we are felling the trees. The remaining foliage, Fulani cattle will come and wipe everything, they will come and burn everything away. And the land is being compacted. Fast forward to desertification. Others are into galamsey. And they are destroying the lands, destroying the water bodies. The Fulani cattle will descend and ascend from the water bodies. They will be pushing debris down. And the debris will be closing the oozes, where the water oozes out. So right now in my community, the two streams have started drying up. So our water bodies are being destroyed, polluted, and they are drying up gradually. And the land is becoming desertification. I read a particular article on net, and it says that Ghana's forest cover, since Nkrumah's time up to date, is left with only 4%. 4%. That is why the Melsis administration, the late Melsis administration, embarked on afforestation. Come and see, because of corruption, all those trees, bushfires are burning them. Nobody is planting trees in this country, but they are burning charcoal. So we are depleting the forest cover. We are destroying the land. We are destroying the water bodies. They've started drying up. And the white people are depleting our mineral resources. So by a century's time, the generation that will come, somebody said by 60 years, Ghana will start importing water. So by a century's time, the generation that will come and meet a desert, dry land, dry water bodies, depleted mineral resources, and a ballooned national debt. Please, what are they going to do? That generation, what are they going to do? So people live in this world. They are so myopic. They don't think about future generations. And these animals, these pigs, think that when they die, they'll go to heaven. You don't care about future generations. And you think you are the best of all creations because you're a Muslim. That's what the scholars tell them. Chidi Chukwede, nice one, my brother. Africa must be free. Yes, I read this thing before. Our ancestors are saints, not any idiot from European Arabs. Good. We should start hyping our ancestors, glorifying them, and start cursing these people who enslaved them. So some of us have sat down and we have seen an abyss ahead of us and a catastrophe. And our political leaders don't care. Otufo doesn't care. The chief imams and the reverends, nobody cares about this. Those generations, the generation to come during that time, they will name us after their dogs. They will deny us as their ancestors. Because we had the mineral resources, but we were still taking loans. You have forestry resources, you have land, water, stones, resources, everything. Solar energy, rains, mineral resources, crude oil, human resources, and you are still taking loans to survive. And we have taken those loans for a century now. We are still poor. Don't you people think that there's something wrong? So why won't our political leaders sit down and analyze, examine these things and rethink? So when the future generation comes and all these mineral resources are depleted, all this land, water, forestry resources are also depleted, and our national debt has ballooned, what are they going to do to survive? Because it is because of these mineral resources that the white people are giving us loans. Because they say that when we can't pay, they will come and mine our resources. So we are using our mineral resources as collaterals for loans. When they are exhausted, that generation to come, what will they use as collaterals? So this week, I'm doing the program on religion is destroying Africa. This is just part 1. I'm sure I will do this part 2, part 3, part 4 because I have a lot to talk about, and because of that, I will make it short. This is DJ Prodi. If you get this video, please join my WhatsApp group. I do consultation, personal problems. You can call me psychological, you and your wife, you and your girlfriend. Try just one and see. Personal, private. Your wife is doing this, that. Tell me. I will not do divination. I'll give you common sense, civilization, this modern day world, how to live in it. And at times, some of the things I will tell you, you wouldn't like it. But that is what will solve your problem. So join my WhatsApp group on +233 545 07 5470. Thank you for you all who are watching. And maybe midweek or next weekend, if our ancestors will, I'll be back.